Hello everybody, welcome back to Unpopular Opinions. This is the series where I take your Pixel World's unpopular opinions and I give my take on them. So let's get right into the first one. Foxman PW says the new booster is trash. I don't necessarily agree. I think boosters being added to the game in general are a good thing. It gives a good way to release blocks and items. I think the new items for shields, different methods of armor are always good for the game. The new sword is great, or what was it, Club of the Hydra, that's pretty good for PvP, I think. Physical damage, 130. I think it's great. I like a lot of the cosmetics in there, cool too. The blocks are really good world building. I think I've said that before. But yeah, I disagree. I think the new booster is pretty good. Alright, next by Old Man PW, he says Pixel Worlds is broken. I don't necessarily agree. I think it's fine. I think the economy may be getting a little cluttered with just limited edition items to be super expensive. I think a way you can solve that is by having a bunch of blueprints added, maybe like 50 new blueprints that will always be in the game permanently, because right now the game's just getting cluttered. Constantly limited items are being put into game every single event. There's these community items that go away after a short amount of time, and then limited blueprints. We're hardly ever getting anything expensive that is permanent in the game, and that's why I think the pets thing is good, because those are some expensive permanent items. But the thing is about permanent items, they'll continuously drop forever until they're pretty much worth nothing. So maybe it's the economy is a little cluttered, but I don't think it's necessarily broken. Unless that's not what you mean, but that's my take on it. Alright, s.ky.dy says Halloween Legendaries will drop. I think because they're getting hoarded right now, it just kind of makes sense that when they're finally sold, they will drop eventually, unless they decide to trash them. That's the only defense against hoarders. So, for example, if a hoarder decides to hoard an item and then they trash most of them, then the item will actually just permanently be risen until it's sold en masse, I guess, again. But I'm assuming that they're just going to sell all of the Halloween Legendaries at once again, then they'll drop. But that's the only time I can see them dropping, because Halloween Legendaries and Halloween items actually rise during the appropriate event, which is sort of confusing, but I guess it makes sense. Alright, FleekazBW says mining update will change the game. I think by the definition of change, yeah, it will. But on a more serious note, yeah, I think it's going to be big. I think a new gem method being added to the game is going to be a really important thing. Farming, netherworld, and I guess pets, and then also fishing are like the 4 main ways to get gems. Besides, among a few others, like achievements don't really count, right? Quests don't really count. I think mining updates are really going to be big for the game. More gem methods decrease the value of gems, which is good. Wait, does that make sense? Yeah, I guess. So, when there's more gems being added to the game, hopefully they'll be sellable like fish gems and nether crystals, and that will be really beneficial as well. But that's pretty good. I think mining update being added to the game will change the game, yeah. Fleekaz also says you don't have to be super active in the game to get rich, just spend your world locks right. I think this doesn't really make very much sense, because you do have to get world locks in the first place, which makes you have to be very active. I think spending your wolves right, like he's saying, again, is kind of against his point, because to make good trades, you have to spend a lot of time to actually be able to trade, unless you're lucky. And being lucky, you know, is it kind of against your point too, because it's more RNG than it is skill. So saying you don't have to be super active in the game to be rich, that's kind of ignorant, in my opinion. If you already have lots of platinum locks, I would say that this might be true. If you know kind of pretty much every price, and you can just go in there and basically buy items for a low price and then sell them for a high price, simple trading. I don't know if you're referring to like grinding and stuff. You don't have to grind to be able to get a lot of world locks. That's what I kind of mean by the trading. But I just don't really see this. I think you do have to be super active to get rich. That's kind of a part of the whole thing. unless you're scamming, obviously. So I guess this would be true in the case of scamming. Okay, so this person says, pets are bad in my opinion. They make them more vulnerable at higher levels, which have no sense. Which makes no sense, I guess he means. I guess it kind of does make sense. The higher amount of care that you put into a pet, the more valuable it can actually reward you, so you'll get more pet tokens and gems and stuff. I don't think this is necessarily a problem. I think that maybe it could tone down a little bit on the pet care, because my pets are at level 6, and so far for a week now they've got sick every single day, which is sort of annoying. Both of them have. Like on altering days, some of them have both got sick on the same day. It's really annoying. My dog hasn't got sick once, which doesn't really make very much sense. He's at level 7. But I think it's kind of appropriate, to be honest. If it's going to give you more rewards, you're probably going to need to spend more time on the game and, send them on adventures. The higher level you are, the longer the adventures are anyway, so you don't really have to be that active, but you do have to be for your other pets and stuff. I don't know, it's just kind of a mess. I don't think pets are bad, though. I think they can serve for a good amount of profit. Purchase PW says, Pixel Worlds is fun to play. I think this is very accurate. I really have a lot of fun going for achievements and stuff in this game, doing different parkours and stuff, with friends. I think it's honestly pretty fun to play. I had a conversation with Bazinga and Van Pixels on the lore Discord, and they were just saying how Pixel Worlds was garbage and it's not fun anymore, and it never was fun and stuff like that. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think you can find so much fun in this game. That's probably why they were playing it for years, so I kind of see how you can have a lot of fun. I mean, it is a game. There is supposed to be a grinding method. The whole point of grinding is so it's fun, because if there's no grind and you could just get anything anytime you wanted, you'd instantly quit the game. There'd be nothing to play for. There'd be no game, pretty much. Most games have a grind because that's kind of the gameplay in general. I think maybe it could be more fun, but that would just have to be with more ways to play. For example, if they had mining and cooking and more updates to just the gameplay in general. I think updates like the clan update, like the clan battles update, that was kind of useless. We already have PvP, and I don't think people really were just ready to go clan versus clan. I think there's a couple worlds that tackle it pretty cool, but PvP isn't really in that high of demand, especially not PvP within versus clan. So you're already narrowing down that amount of people. I'm not even in a clan, so I couldn't do clan PvP. So I don't think that update was great, but I think they need to add more base mechanics to the game to make it more fun. I do think Pixel Worlds is fun, though. Alright, Ponju C has an interesting take. They say, people who play drop games should receive the same punishment as the scammer. Now, this is very interesting. I don't think they should receive the exact same punishment as the scammer, in my opinion, but I think they should still receive way more punishment. If you play in a drop game, even if it's your first day of playing, I feel like you should receive a ban. It should be very obvious that nobody should be making a drop game or playing in a drop game. It's just so stupid. I don't know why they get off scot-free or even with a warning. I think that's just really dumb. Obviously, if it's a joke, or like if someone's dropping soil, but if you actually drop, maybe I'm wrong there. If you just even play in a joke drop game or any drop game, you should be banned for it, or at least warning. I think getting anyone scot-free if you're in a drop game is just ridiculous. I think they should at least have any form of punishment, at least a ban. Alright, Pixel World's Game Fan says, donating items to new players ruins their game experience. I think this is true. Most people hear about the game from their friends, and then their friends give them a bunch of items, and I think that kind of takes away from the experience, because getting more world locks kind of helps you learn what the game's about and all the game's different features and stuff, with like fishing and farming, maybe mining coming up. It would help teach them how to play the game. If you just give them a bunch of stuff and then don't really tell them anything, it does kind of ruin the experience. I can see that. PonySketcher20 says they should have more jetpack designs. Too many wings. Let's see more jetpacks. I think this is fine, but there's kind of an established value of a jetpack. Like the bottom price is about 100 world locks, and I think that's supposed to stay the same. If they made cheaper jetpacks, then I think that would probably mess up the economy, because then there wouldn't really be a point to buy a soda jetpack. That's just kind of the minimum price if you wanted to get a jetpack in the first place. If they started making jetpacks for like 30 world locks and they started implementing them into, like, for example, the St. Patrick's quest or the summer quest, then they drop a lot of value with all the jetpacks, and I think that would be an issue. Wings, since the beginning of the game, if you want a double jump, you can get it for a world lock or two. You don't need to spend a lot. Anything beyond that's just cosmetic or for profiting and stuff. Jetpacks, it's more of like an established base value of 100 world locks, so if you really do want that special feature, you need to pay a lot for it. I think more jetpack designs, if you're referring to just that, I think if they add a community like back item thing, I think we could see a lot more jetpacks starting to take place. I think, like I said earlier, there should be more blueprints, and jetpacks can definitely be part of that. I think we should have a lot more jetpacks and blueprints. Just more jetpacks in general I think could be good, but then, like I said earlier, they kind of do need to remain that base established value. Alright, this person says the pets update was the worst update that Pixel World's ever had. This is just not true. Every January update we have a pretty lame update. It's just like the clan wars or anything like that. I forgot what the other January updates are, but January updates are always just lame because it's right after the devs had their Christmas break, and they just kind of... Oh yeah, Deep Nether was another one that wasn't super interesting or anything. I think the Pets update was easily not the best thing we've ever had. At the very least, it gave us cool new items that we can strive to get, and expensive items being added to the game that are permanent I think is always a good idea. Definitely not the worst update, no. Alright, this person says booster updates are really pointless, like it's just some new blocks. I think new blocks being added to the game are always good for World of the Week design and stuff. Booster updates aren't really pointless. They do add a lot of new permanent items to the game, so people don't have to spend a ton on limited items and stuff. So I think a bunch of permanent items being added to the game per each year is really, really good for the game. So I do like booster updates, yeah. Not to mention, it's really good content for YouTube, opening boosters. Alright, so Demon Plays PW says, all events are boring except for Halloween. I think the summer event and the... Okay, yeah, just the summer event. I think the summer event's super fun too. Besides Halloween, I can't really... besides Halloween and the summer event, I guess you're right, there's really not any exciting events. I guess if you count Secret Base is pretty fun in my opinion. The Nether boss isn't great because he's super hard to find, but yeah, I guess I just don't agree actually. I like the summer event a lot. Linton PW says, pets waste gems. I think clans waste way more gems than pets, but pets can at least earn you back a lot of gems. Like if you raise your pet level high enough, you can get the 10,000, the golden gem packs if you wanted to. I think that's great. So, do they waste gems? Maybe not. Do they not give you very much profit in terms of gems? Maybe, because you don't really get that many gem packs for adventures and stuff. So maybe, I guess so, but at least not as much as clans, because you don't even get any gems back in terms of clans. You just donate gems, and then get more gems, and then donate more gems. Alright, Xlight X says, most YouTubers are overrated. 90% of the influencers don't deserve the influencer rank. This is interesting. I don't think they wouldn't deserve it. In terms of the rules, I think you need either 30k Instagram followers, 30k YouTube, and then, or like 40k combined or something like that. And then also, you can also have an average of 20k. I think most influencers do have that. I'm not sure why Possible is influencer. I think he only has 10k subscribers, which is 20k less, and he doesn't get 20k consistent views. So I have no clue how he's even an influencer in the first place. Maybe there's some sort of backhand, like, well, if you've started from Pixel Worlds and you've grown in Pixel Worlds, you get a slide, you get an influencer early. I don't really know how that works, but I thought the base was like 30k subscribers on YouTube, but he got away with 10k, which is pretty cool. When you mean don't deserve the influencer rank, maybe you mean they're not nice. I mean, that's kind of how it is. I don't know. It's kind of a hot take for me, but I think that most influencers deserve their rank. I mean, doing YouTube consistently isn't the easiest thing ever to do. It does take a lot of your time. I mean, my videos don't take a lot of time, but others do. Clearly, there's a lot of editing and thought behind the ideas and stuff. I'm just kind of talking for like 10 minutes, but I do actually think they deserve the rank, if I'm going to be honest. Nitro Pixel World says, basic seed pack shops are not useful. I think they're very useful just for massing. I think if you need an item and then you need to farm it for massing, but you don't have anything to get it started, you can just buy a few seeds from a shop or a few blocks from a shop, and then you can start massing that item just from buying it from the shop. And so I do actually think they're very useful. Okay, this person says bytes should be the same price as the NPC and Pixel Station exchanges them for. I used to think that this would probably be a good idea, but then I realized, if this was true, then people could just flutter, the byte economy. They could make it like 500 byte coins, so then they could just buy for 500 byte coins for a world lock from them, and then drop it all the way for easy profit, which is just kind of a mess, I think, because the world lock value is dependent on people selling world locks in the Pixel Worlds exchange machine, which isn't the most dependent source, especially because it's the last 20 sellers, which, there's 20 sellers in, I think, 20 minutes, so people could easily change it up really, really quickly. So I do not actually think they should be the same price for the NPC. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. See ya.